Hello, I'm Dr. Jody Reed. In this series, we explore the brain, behavior, and mental health. In this lecture, we begin a new topic, cerebral plasticity. Cerebral plasticity refers to the ability of the brain to change its structure and function in response to experience, injury, learning, or changes in sensory input. For many years, it was believed that the adult brain was fixed and could not reorganize itself. Modern neuroscience has shown that this is not true. The brain remains capable of reorganization throughout life. Understanding cerebral plasticity is essential for understanding learning, recovery from injury, and the development of many neurological and psychiatric conditions. Cerebral plasticity refers to the ability of neural systems to modify their connections, activity, and organization. This change can occur at many levels. Individual neurons may change their connections. Groups of neurons may change their activity patterns. Entire cortical regions may change the way they represent sensory or motor functions. Plasticity allows the brain to adapt to new experiences. It also allows the brain to compensate for damage. For much of the 20th century, scientists believed that the adult brain could not change significantly. It was thought that development occurred in childhood, and after that, the structure of the brain was largely fixed. According to this view, damage to the brain could not be repaired, and lost functions could not be recovered. This belief influenced both neuroscience and clinical medicine for many years. However, later research began to show that this view was incomplete. Studies in animals and humans have shown that cortical maps can change after injury, training, or changes in sensory input. Areas of the cortex that normally respond to one type of input can begin to respond to another. Representations of the body or sensory space can expand or shrink. Neurons can form new connections. Existing connections can become stronger or weaker. These findings demonstrated that the adult brain remains capable of functional reorganization. Plasticity can occur in several ways. It may occur after injury, when the brain reorganizes to compensate for lost function. It may occur during learning, when repeated activity strengthens certain neural circuits. It may occur after loss of sensory input, when adjacent cortical regions expand into unused areas. It may also occur during rehabilitation, when training helps restore function after damage. These forms of plasticity show that the brain is dynamic rather than fixed. Cerebral plasticity is important in many areas of medicine. It helps explain recovery after stroke. It explains phantom limb sensations after amputation. It explains how training changes motor and sensory skills. It also helps explain why therapy, rehabilitation, and learning can change brain function. Plasticity shows that the nervous system remains adaptable even in adulthood. In the next lectures, we will look at specific examples of cerebral plasticity. We will examine studies in animals that first demonstrated cortical reorganization. We will then look at plasticity in the adult human brain. Finally, we will study the mechanisms that allow cortical areas to change their function. Understanding these principles will help us understand how the brain adapts to experience and injury. Cerebral plasticity is the ability of the brain to change. It allows learning, adaptation, and recovery. It shows that the adult brain is not fixed, but dynamic. This concept is fundamental to modern neuroscience. If you're finding these lectures helpful, please like and subscribe to Read Matrix, and share your thoughts or questions in the comments section.